Welcome to today's show, Keep the Shabbos Holy. What are we going to be talking about, Keep the Shabbos Holy? Well, real simple. It says so many times in the Torah that we Jewish people, the Almighty has requested from us to keep and observe the Shabbos and keep it holy. What does holy mean? Well, the word holy comes from the word kadosh, kodesh, kadosh, which means to sanctify, to holy, but it also means to separate, to make different. So therefore the Almighty has asked us, whether it was in the Ten Commandments or in other places throughout the Torah, Zacharis Yom HaShabbos Lekacho, keep and observe the Shabbos and keep it holy, but make it separate, make a distinction between all other 6 days of the week and the holy day of Shabbos. So here we all know that when it comes Shabbos, Friday afternoon, we're all getting ready to make the Shabbos, but then all of a sudden comes a concept of observing and keeping the Shabbos holy. And from me talking to so many people out there, and so many Jewish people have called me, they say, Rabbi, it is difficult and we don't even understand why and how to keep the Shabbos holy. So my dear friends, tonight is going to be a great show of showing you how to keep it, why to keep it, what great blessings we get from it, and a few tips what to do to make your Shabbos pleasant and keep it holy. Come, let's discuss. First and foremost, each and every one of us, we have to realize, when does Shabbos begin? When does the day begin? Well, first, before we even get to that, what day is Shabbos? The seventh day of the week. 6 days the Almighty created the heaven and the earth, and then on the seventh day the Almighty Himself rested. And He commanded us to rest on the seventh day. Now, when does the day begin and when does a day end? Well, real simple. You think 12 midnight. Well, that's not true. You see, 12 midnight is just a convenience that man made when a day should start. But a day in Judaism is, God said, I created a world with laws of nature, and through my creation, you shall serve me. Therefore, the Almighty said when the sun goes down, that's the end of a day. So when the sun goes down, that is the end of one day, so immediately begins a new day, right after sundown. Vayhi erev, vayhi boker, yom echad. There was evening, there was day, that was day one. So we see the evening starts the beginning of the day. So whenever the sun goes down, that is the end of a day. So on Friday afternoon, as the sun is about to set, what the world still calls way after the sun sets, Friday, we Jewish people do not go according to the way the world wants to think what is Friday and what is Shabbat. We go according to the creations that God laid into this world, the rules and regulations of nature, and say when the sun goes down, that's when Shabbos begins. So 18 minutes before the sun goes down, the Almighty said, requested, we should begin resting a little bit before the seventh day. So we start at 18 minutes before, when the mother lights her Shabbos candles, and that is when Shabbos begins. Come. Wow. You know, that's a very interesting concept that we just discussed here. That Shabbos does not begin when the TV guy says 6 o'clock evening, but Shabbos begins as the sun goes down. And that's when Shabbos begins. So in the winter, the sun may set approximately 10 to 5. That means at about 4:30 is candle lighting time, 18 minutes before sundown. So too also in the summer. In the summer, the sun may go down about 8:10. That means 18 minutes before that will be about 10 minutes to 8. So we always have to look at when the sun is going down. It's very simple to know. If you have a Jewish calendar, you know, there's so many Jewish calendars that on Friday always says candle lighting time is. And it shouldn't be when the father comes home 7 o'clock in the evening in the winter that the mom goes and says, now is time to light the Shabbos candles. Shabbos candles should be lit when? When Shabbos begins. Because lighting it afterwards, well, we'll get to that later. But what kind of blessings come with lighting the Shabbos candles, and especially when we do it on time? To know that, come with me over here. It says, Im atem mishamrim neiros shel Shabbat, ani mara lochem neiros shel Tzion. The Almighty has taught us that if you go and light the Shabbos candles in its proper time, I will bestow upon you the blessings to see the light of Zion, of Zion. Also it says, if you observe in the proper kindling of the candles, I will bless you with shalom bayis, with peace in the home. And today in a generation where children are constantly bickering with parents and parents not understanding children, this was not something in the Jewish household many generations ago. But the Almighty promises that when you light your Shabbos candles at its proper time, I mevi lochem shalom bayis. I will bring peace to the home. So everybody, the first thing you have to go and say is like this: Shabbos is such a wonderful day, is such a wonderful time to be blessed with, be with the family. Let's start it on time. Let's light the Shabbos candles on time. So you say, but Rabbi, 4:30, I'm on the road. It's the winter time. How do you expect me to light my Shabbos candles? My dear friends, which comes first? Work or your family? Work or observing the beautiful blessings that the Almighty will give you by keeping the Shabbos holy? My dear friends, each and every one of us, I will tell you a story soon about the importance of work compared to keeping the Shabbos holy. But for sure, if this is the first time you ever heard that you have to light the candles at the proper time, I wish you knew this beforehand. But everybody, please, Jewish mothers and Jewish women and Jewish girls, light your Shabbos candles on time. This is your beautiful blessing. You are so holy and so spiritually great. Only you can bring down the great holiness and spirituality of the Shabbos. But when? When the door is open to bring this down. When is that? Before the Shabbos begins. After the Sabbath begins and you kindle your candles, you feel, well, it's important to me to light candles, but you violated the beautiful blessing of what Shabbos has to offer. Let's study some more. Come. Now that we have lit the Shabbos candles, it's time to go to services. After we've gone to services, which I'm sure we all went to a wonderful service, as we go home, there are two angels that accompany us, one to the right and one to the left, to come to our home. Yeah, two angels. And we go and we sing. What do you mean, Rabbi, there are two angels? Well, there's a good angel on the right and there's an angel that is not a good angel on the left. And they come to your home to see how wonderful, how beautiful the display of the Shabbos candles are, the challah, the way the table is set, to see how beautiful you are welcoming in the beautiful blessing of Shabbos. And when the angels walk in with you, you go and the good angel says, wow, what a beautiful table. May you be blessed that next week you can have the same thing. The angel that is not so good has to see and bear witness, this is true, and answer, amen. But if heaven forbid, when Shabbos comes and the house is not set up beautifully, the evil angel looks at the good angel and says, my report to the Almighty is this house does not observe the Shabbos properly. May they observe it the same way next week without a blessing. And the good angel has to unfortunately say, amen. Rabbi, you're making this stuff up. Oh, really? You think I'm making this stuff up? Well, what's the beautiful song that we always sing right when we begin our beautiful Shabbos meal? Shalom Aleichem. That's the song we sing. What are that words? Shalom Aleichem. Hello, Yahoo. How are you doing? Malachei Hashareis. Ministering angels. Malachei Elyon. Angels from above. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Who has come from the Holy One, the King of all kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. Bayachem l'shalom. Please come in peace, Malachei Hashem, the beautiful angels of peace, Malachei Elyon. And then after that we say, Baruchuni l'shalom, bless me in peace, Malachei Hashem, the beautiful angels of peace, please bless my family. And being that you can't stay for dinner, because obviously you're an angel, we'd love to have you. Tzeisachem l'shalom, please go in peace, Malachei Elyon, angels from above. This is an integral part of, this is not symbolism. This is not something from abstract Judaism that people like to make nice. This is what God wants you to be blessed with. He sends two beautiful angels to your home Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. So these angels come and they say, look how beautiful this house is, look how beautiful it is. Almighty, give them a blessing that they too are able to go and be able to do this next week. Come. In fact, it is well known that on the high holidays, the Almighty blesses us with the amount of money that we spend during the year on the Shabbos meals, on the holiday meals, the way we created our atmosphere in our home. And that is the way the Almighty blesses us many times and says, I am going to reward you with so much money because that's how much you need for the whole year to live. But this is how much you spent last year on Shabbos. I'm going to give you just the same for next year, that you can do the same thing. So it's an integral part of our Judaism, keeping Shabbos beautiful. The biggest problem is that many of us are so involved in work, the phone rings, the kids want to go out to a basketball game, there's movies, there's Nintendo games, there's so many things driving us away from observing the holy Shabbos. So in return, what do we have? A 20-minute dinner that everybody says, Ma, great piece of chicken. Great piece of chicken. I'll see you later, Ma. I'm taking the car and I'm going. The phone rings and your daughter or your son is on the phone and can't even come to the dinner on time. It's so hard to schlep the children together. Why? Because the blessings of the home has not been there for years. How are you going to start that? In fact, it says in the book of Exodus, in chapter 31, verses 12 and 13, it says, the Almighty says, Sheishis Yomim, you shall work for 6 days, and you shall observe the Shabbos, ki oisi. This is the sign, this is the pact, this is the covenant between I and the Jewish people to bless you forever, to have happiness, to have family, Yahoo, togetherness, is by observing the Shabbos. And as it says, you shall do this l'dayroi seichem, for many generations to come. Many rabbis go and play a word on the word l'dayroi seichem to your generations to say it also can be read l'diroi seichem, that you should observe this Shabbos in your homes to continue this beautiful pact. So the beautifulness of Shabbos is not the temple and going to services. The beautifulness is there too, but also how you do it in your home and enjoy the Shabbos. Come. You know, many of us have difficulty understanding how to observe the Shabbos and what to do. You know what? I have a wonderful video that I would like to show you about how a Jewish person who doesn't even understand what it means not to work on Shabbos, not to handle any money, comes to a very observant home for Shabbos, and look how he integrates and enjoys what Shabbos is supposed to be like. Because the scene you're going to see looks exactly the way it is in my home. Each and every one of you enjoy. And when we come back, I got a great story to tell you about Shabbos. And after that, I'm going to give you a wonderful tip how you too can observe the Shabbos the best way. Let's watch.
It's Friday afternoon, there's excitement in the air. People rushing all about, all I can do is stare. Is this really happening, or is it just a dream? Chaos all around me, can this be the routine? It's my first Shabbos, and I've never understood the idea of a day of rest. Can it really be that good? Isn't it a hardship to sacrifice so much? Things we work with during the week, today I cannot touch. The candles have been lit, and the warmth from the flame fills me with emotion, feelings just the same. The house has settled down, all work has been done. A new frame of mind is born with the setting of the sun. It's my first Shabbos, and I've never understood the idea of a day of rest. Can it really be that good? Isn't it a hardship to sacrifice so much? Things we work with during the week, today I cannot touch. Who do I ask? To whom can I turn? What should I feel? How can I learn? When should I stand up? When should I sit down? What do I do? What do I do? On the table, Zmiros are being sung. I haven't read any Hebrew since 1971. How do all these people say it with such ease? Speaking Divrei Torah in English, if you please. It's my first Shabbos, and I finally understand the idea of a day of rest. It makes me feel so grand. It would be a hardship, I'd sacrifice so much. If I didn't have my Shabbos, the week would be so rough.
It's our first Shabbos, and we finally understand the idea of a day of rest. It makes us feel so grand. It would be a hardship, we'd sacrifice so much. If we didn't have our Shabbos, the week would be so rough.
Yes, Shabbos is really such a wonderful day. It's such a wonderful day of rest. But the thing is, even on Friday in my house, my children are getting the table set. Everybody gets involved. It's something to look forward to every single week. It's a beautiful time. It's not like something, we got to put together. It's something we all look forward to. The guests that come to our house on Friday night and the whole Shabbos, it's so wonderful. The phone doesn't ring, no business. And I'm a rabbi, and you got to realize something. A lot of people always want to speak to me, especially over the weekend. They come to shul, they schmooze with me, but the beautiful thing is, it's restful, it's peaceful, it's what God asked of us. But to hear a wonderful story, I got a beautiful story to tell you. This story takes us back about 300 years ago in Amsterdam. You have to realize about 300 years ago, the Jewish people were running from one country to the next country just to observe Judaism. Wherever we went, you had the Inquisitions running after us. We had blood libels trying to destroy us. Jews were looking not to assimilate and go away from Judaism, but if anything, what they were looking for is, how do we keep the true blue Yahoo of Judaism alive? So what happened was, there was once this very rich person. He was a person that dealt in Persian rugs. His name was Van Anshel. And what happened was that he would sell Persian rugs to many different people. In fact, he, in his own area in Amsterdam, the Duke used to buy Persian rugs from him. One day, the Duke had a visitor from Vienna, Austria, a different Duke, and what happened was they were having a conversation. He says, I don't understand. Why do you treat the Jewish people so nicely in your area? All they are is a bunch of money, hungry, grabbing Jewish people. That's all they care about is money, money, money. That's all they know. That's all they run from place to place, grabbing money. Amazing, in the 1600s, how I wish the Jewish people had a lot of money. But that was the accusation. Jews are money, hungry, grabbing people. That's all they care about. He says, what are you talking about? The Jewish people that live with me in Amsterdam, I'm so happy that we've given them some freedom. They're wonderful people. They bring money into the commerce. They pay their taxes. They're very loyal, abiding citizens. I don't know what you're talking. That's not true. They won't listen to you. You want to know something? They would sell their mother. They'd give up their religion if it meant to make a couple of dollars. So the Duke of Amsterdam was shocked. So he made a test. And the test was Friday night. In the meantime, Van Hanschel was sitting with his family, having a wonderful Shabbos dinner, eating beautiful foods and delicacies and singing beautiful songs. Shemer, HaShemer, HaShemer Shabbat, having a wonderful time when all of a sudden there was a knock on the door. Van Hanschel his wife opens up the door and sees two guards from the Duke there. It's about 10 o'clock at night. Says the Duke has an order that being that there are very special people that are coming tomorrow to visit him from Persia, he needs now 10 Persian rugs and he will pay you double the price. Anshul says to the soldiers, excuse me, to the guards, he says, I'm sorry. You must go and tell the Duke, today is my day of rest, the Shabbos, I don't do any business. I cannot give him any rugs. The wife was petrified and said to her husband, don't you realize who you're starting up with? We Jewish people, we should give in a little bit. He says, the Almighty told us to keep the Shabbos holy, and that is our job. What we must do is do what the Almighty wants, and God will protect us. Come. The next morning, knocks on the door. Varanshel, these people did not show up, but we're saying we need 10 rugs because they're coming later on in the afternoon. We will pay you triple the amount. Please give us the rugs. And Varanshel, of course, said no. Then as the evening was the sun set it already, all of a sudden there was a knock on his door again. He opens the door and he sees that there are these 2 guards there. He says, the Shabbos is now over. The sun has gone down. I want you, the Duke says, to come right now to my castle because I must speak to you right now why you didn't go and bring me the rugs when I said so. So Varanshel said, the sun went down, but we know we wait about 45 minutes after the sun goes down to declare the Sabbath over. You have to wait. So the guards waited, and when Shabbos was over and Varanshel made the beautiful Havdalah ceremony, what did he do? He went with the Duke. What happened? Come. He comes to the Duke, and the Duke says, Varanshel, how is it that I always did business with you? One time I asked you for a special order. I was even going to pay you double. You don't come through? What kind of a businessman are you? He says, I'm sorry. It's Shabbos. I can't do work. I'm sorry. He says, I came to you the next day and I was going to give you triple. Why didn't you come and give me the rugs? He says, excuse me, sir. But no matter what it is, I cannot violate the Holy Shabbos. The Almighty has blessed me with so many beautiful blessings. I'm not going to violate the Almighty's teachings to make a few more dollars. He says, excuse me, what did you say? And he repeated it. And all of a sudden, the Duke of Amsterdam calls the Duke of Vienna, come out of the closet. Did you hear that? Did you hear he would not violate the Shabbos? Did you hear that? And because he didn't violate the Shabbos, the Duke gave him a letter that from now on, all the dukes in Amsterdam have to buy rugs from him, plus the Duke, as long as he's alive, has to buy Persian rugs. From now on, only from Varanshel, who lives in Amsterdam. My dear friends, the Almighty has requested, please don't work on Shabbos, and I promise you blessings. If a business deal comes up, it means it really wasn't there. Trust the Almighty. But there's still a problem. How do we begin? Where do we start? Rabbi, 25 hours of Shabbos? It's tough. Come. My answer to you all is very simple. Women, when you light your Shabbos candles, please light them on time. And as long as the candles are lit, the telephone rings, so what? Somebody says you have to come and watch a TV show, leave it alone. No Nintendo. A candle burns for what? 4 hours. You can't keep away from a telephone. And what would be if you really weren't home? You wouldn't pick up the phone. What emergency could it be? You and your family are together loving each other's company. A beautiful meal. Get guests involved. Get relatives there. You will see if you do this not once a year for Passover or again on Rosh Hashanah. 52 weeks in a year besides the high holidays, besides Passover. Your family will grow and grow with such beautiful warmth. This is the ultimate blessing that God has given the Jewish people. If you observe my Shabbos, but keep it holy, then you and your entire family will be blessed. And today, in the wonderful 90s that we are in, whoa, can we use God's blessings to keep our family together. For my closing remarks come. My dear friends, yes, it's so simple. While the candles are burning, please make sure you observe the Shabbos. If you would like to know how to make a Shabbos meal, or better yet, you would like to join my family, give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to set you up with my family or a beautiful home in your area. And if you want a service where there's Yahoo, give me a call, because Shabbos is a lot more than a wonderful meal, but Shabbos is a lot more because it's our connection between the Almighty and us. Have a great week, have a great weekend, have a great Shabbos, and I'll see you again soon next week on this great show of Basic Judaism.